trying to learn them how to speak Danish and stuff like that. And one of the things I found very interesting with children is they're not just giving away because they've been thinking about, okay, I have to give this away. They're giving away because they're actually happy in the situation doing that. And I think we are not considering children enough to be a part of our inspiration in thoughts like this, because they have another way of they're not having this. You talked about the system where we have to be considered as smart people, and it stops us from actually being smart, because I have to think about, okay, is this smart considered to what the other one think about me as a smart person? A very funny school example is that they gave a child from kindergarten paper clips and asked him, how would you use this? How many different ways can you use it? And he could come up with more than 30 different ways of using it. One of them was, I could turn it into a big shift and go to Africa. And when they asked the guy in 9th grade, how can you use it? He just said like, oh well, you have to put it on paper and this is how it works. And somehow all this knowledge can limit our ways of actually having this inspiration. And also I see it with my own daughter, that she and the refugee children who's been in wars, Afghanistan and other places, when they come here, they are not considering about giving away like we're doing right now. We're thinking about how can I be a good person. They just are. And I think there's, if we can put a little bit of that play into being a good person and happiness about it, it would actually be also give a little more trust maybe.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry to disturb.
Okay.
We were supposed to meet at 3 o'clock.
It's 3.
It's 3, but you haven't had any break, and Ross and they haven't had any break. So I was thinking, should we meet 20 minutes past 3? Would that be all right with you? So you can end this debate in 20 minutes past 3.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, then we have time for one last comment.
Yeah, I just want to basically, I mean, what I said before is, I mean, obviously that's kind of still selfish. And when the idea would be to always just give and be happy with whatever you receive without ever taking anything. You know, I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? You know, you're just content with what comes to you and you just give whenever the opportunity presents itself. But since we are so far off from that mentality, trained by our economic system, which is like, you go to the supermarket and take this, you know, whatever comes to your fancy. So I think that's like a step into that direction, and then you just train and do it until you actually like a child, where you just give all the time, you know, without calculating the rewards somewhere, you know, which is.
Okay, one last one, and then you first.
I really would like to have a board now. Every time we meet, we shall have a board. Always, never forget. There's no sand we can draw. I've been testing this gift economy. The first test I made was that we had an artist, a really gifted artist, that had made beautiful paintings. We produced these paintings as copies and sold them for the production price. We served at this financiering, what heter det på engelsk? Vernissage, this presentation of this art. We served the best wine, the best red wine, the best white wine. And I said to people, you can have this wine. You can pay for it if you want to, but you don't have to. You can have a glass of wine. You can have a glass of white wine, you can have a glass of white wine. You can buy the art, its production price. You don't have to pay more. But if you want us to live so that you can have something for supper, you will give us something, right? It was in the middle of Odense. We had a lot of other artists visiting us. The outgoing money was 1,250 kroners. The incoming money, you will not believe it, was 50 kroners. Which means I lost 1,200 kroners at that day.
It's not a lot for you.
Okay, now this happened in 2007, and you say it will come back to me. No, it has not come back to me. I died out of hunger. Then the next thing was that I spent 22 million Danish kroners just giving them out. Do you know how much has come back?
Giving what up?
All of it.
22
What did you give up?
22 million kroners.
You
I gave it out.
Uh,
In a period of 7 years, I gave it out. Right? You know how much come back?
Probably nothing.
how much is going to come
This is
back?
not-
1,500 kroner.
How much is going to come back?
1,500 kroner.
Next life?
Wasn't it a relief to get rid of all that money?
Oh, it was
Wait a minute.
great fun.
Wait a minute.
It was great fun. But I can tell you, it does not work. Then I got
She's eager to-
no,
she's eager to
please
say
stop.
something.
Please stop. I got a book. I got a green book from Australia. I got a green book from Australia, and I gave it to another person. Right? 5 years later, I got this green book from Australia again. Nobody wanted it. They continuously gave it as a gift
Okay, we're going to hear some
because
other
they did
stories.
not want it.
You're confusing, you're confusing a gift and a gift economy.
Okay.
This is not a gift economy. That's only a gift.
I
A gift economy is a structure of people, and this structure hasn't been there. So this is where what I think this is the question is: how do we create relations and networks of people that are interconnected in a way that creates a gift economy? Because a gift doesn't constitute a gift economy. It takes the mechanics that makes the gift come back, and how to create these mechanics. That's the question.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just wondering about one thing. You're saying that you gave away 1,200 one day, 22 million another day, and you didn't get anything back. As far as I can see, you're not hungry. You don't have any kind of hunger, and you're smiling, and you seem somewhat for me like a happy person. And now you're telling me that you didn't get anything back. I don't see that. It seems to me that you got a lot of things back.
No, I got rid of.
But of course you didn't get the money back.
Okay, Swami?
I agree with the idea that compassion comes from spiritual inspiration, spiritual feeling, and that has to be. You can't have a compassion-based economy without at least enough people having that feeling. But the selfish tendency has always existed, and where there is an opportunity, people who are governed by selfishness will seize the opportunity. So I think a compassionate society also has to take some steps to protect itself from those kinds of tendencies. How do you see, well, in the space where I'm coming from, there should be certain protections enshrined in, for example, the Constitution. That is that, for example, limitations on accumulation. Not everyone is going to voluntarily, what to speak of giving stuff away, from accumulating. If it's allowed, if it's socially permissible. Like, for example, when we're bringing up kids, parents give some rules. You can't take the other child's food or things like that. So don't there have to be certain safeguards put in place?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you agree with that, where do you see, or do you have any ideas about what that would look like?
Yes, I agree entirely. It has to be it cannot be simply an open group. It has to be a limited group, or restricted to those
who will reciprocate. In other words, the rule is, if it's a gift economy, you have an obligation to give. That's the purpose. You're there to give. It's a shift in consciousness that we want to make by participating in that. Now the concern is, am I going to be taken care of? Okay? And I've been thinking about this for a long time, and it seems to me that in order to make that first step, we're going to have to, this group would have to be indemnified by somebody with maybe some nice person with deep pockets, you know, some person like yourself who's got 22 million to back this up, that if something goes wrong, or let's say, so that everybody there feels that, okay, yes, if I have a health problem, I don't have to worry. I can just focus on giving. It seems to me that there'd have to be such a thing, besides having rules also. And there should be regular discussion about how to talk with each other. How am I growing as a person by participating in this? What do I see? How do I, my internal reactions to this? What am I feeling? What am I experiencing? My feelings of envy are coming up, or my feelings that, you know, he's got more than I do. These are all good things to see in terms of steps for my own personal growth. And so that should be there as well. It's must be recognized that to take on such a task is an experiment, at least in the beginning. And I think it should not be taken on as a open-ended thing, but as a short term. Would best be perhaps be performed as a short-term experiment, maybe for several years, and set up like that, and kind of like, what do they call this now, reality TV? Something like that, where everybody volunteers to go there. Okay, I'm going to be on this island with the rest of you guys for 2 years, and let's see how this works out in terms of gift. And I'm sure would be many wonderful stories about personal growth to come out of such a thing. Did you have any fun?
Well, I guess I'm asking about an ideology or a philosophy, an economic philosophy for the world as a whole, not as an experiment for the group.
That's beyond me at this point. I don't know. We're going to have to end in like 2 minutes, so just one last comment here. I'd say, John Croft, who's a fellow who's doing a lot of work in Australia, he says that local currencies that are supported in Australia, the Australian government supports local currencies in the local communities, is that they work in a peculiar way because people use them for some time. But the fact that they see a different currency and it's a local one, and they really understand that, well, money isn't just something the state produces, there's other ways of money. Then they start thinking about what money is. And then you use these local currencies for a couple of years, and then they almost stop using it. And then they transition into a gift economy. Because because it sort of opens their minds to what money is. And when they really understand that this is just paper, and we're just printing over here, and why do we do this? We don't need to do this. We can actually create a transition into gift economy. So in this way, the local currency is a stepping stone between ordinary state money. John Croft, is it? Yeah, John Croft. Okay, we'll come up. Okay, thank you. I think we have to end. Thank you very much for your participation. And we're going to have our, anyway, we'll make an announcement about the gift economy idea. We're going to have a tentative meeting here next Saturday on that. So, are everybody's interested?
Next Saturday?
Next Saturday, tentatively, because we can't confirm the use of the room today. Thank you.